Hey guys, welcome. In this video we will talk about the concept of data conversions, explicit and implicit, and why you have to be very careful, because in practice, if you, for example, try to store a big value in a data type that doesn't take them, you can lose information that could be very meaningful. Okay, so you have to be very careful. All right, let's make a new project. Imagine in a financial application, right? You have a value of some kind that represents money. When you store that in too small a variable, data loss can occur, and then nobody will be happy about that. So, simple console application, click OK. Let's go with the usual template. Program.cs, let's open that up. I'll paste some code down below. Now what we're going to say is console.writeLine, and then you'll say the maximum value of the short is, and then let's add that to here. So we'll display that by writing short dot min value. Okay, and actually this should say minimum. There you go. All right, let's do another one. So console.writeLine, and that will deal with the long type. So the maximum value of the long type is, and then you're going to say here plus, and then long dot, and then max value, close with a semicolon. Okay, next stage, you're going to type integer x equals 50,000. Okay. All right, now we're going to say short y equals, and then you're going to say here within, it says represents a 16-bit signed integer, and then you're going to put the x in front of it and close with a semicolon. There you go. And now long z equals, and then you're going to set that equal to x. Okay, so it looks like that. And now let's take a look at the results. You're going to say console.writeLine, and the value of y is, and then you're going to embed the y into the string like this. Okay, there you go. And the value of z is, and then you'll embed the z into the string of concatenation. So that looks like this. Okay, we'll take a look at the values of y and z respectively. So let's delete this reference code I have. Scroll up. Here's our simple little thing. And now let's give it a build. Let's see what it builds successfully. Okay, so here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the debugger carefully. So let's go debug and step into. Okay, so as you can see, at first each of z, x, and y is declared to be 0, 0, and 0, even if you double click. No hidden letters. Long, integer, and short. Okay? Alright, now, let's take a look. So let's display the minimum value of the short type, and as you can see, that is negative 32,768. That's the min value of that one. Let me append this to the screen over here with the window on top. Looks like that. Alright, next. As you can see, the maximum value of the long type is magnificently large. Alright, and then take a look. X now has been assigned the value 50,000. And now, take a look at what happens the next stage. You see, it takes X and this step right here. Okay, that is an explicit data conversion. But the problem with this data conversion is this causes a data loss. What is the reason? Well, because X is set to 50,000 and the maximum value of the short type, okay, will not take that. Okay, you saw its minimum value, so if you hover your mouse over short, expand that, it says the max value is 32,767. So clearly, because the maximum value of the short is about 33,000, it will not fit 50,000. Okay? So as a result, when you do the conversion here, this explicit conversion of an integer to a short in this particular case, it gives you a negative 15,536 as the conversion, you see? Okay? Alright, now let's take a look at the next result. So here, as you can see, x is 50,000. Z has not yet been given a value, but it has now been given a value. And of course, that one works perfectly well because the maximum value of the long type is, much bigger than of the integer type. So that conversion is successful. And notice this conversion here is implicit, meaning you don't have to write in front of it short, okay, or anything like that. It just happens naturally because the long type will fit the integer type. Whereas here, x will not naturally fit in y, so you can force the conversion, but as a result, as you can see, there's a kind of improper conversion, perhaps the data loss. There you go. Okay, let's pop this out of memory. Now here, that's if you do it this way, right? Okay. What happens on the other hand if I type short, say p equals and then x? Okay? And immediately it says cannot implicitly convert type int to short, an explicit conversion exists. Are you missing a cast? So to say a cast doesn't mean you've broken your leg, it means here, this step right there, okay? The casting from one data type to another. Okay? Casting also means throwing, so here you're throwing from one data type to another, say. Okay? That's how I think of it anyway. So this here you can comment out. Let's see. If we build this, there you go. If you try to launch it in this particular fashion, will it launch? No, it's going to give you errors. Okay, so it says, would you like to continue to run the last successful build? Click no, and the error is as given here. So of course here we can comment that out. Okay, and perhaps add a line that says this will not work because integers can't be converted to shorts. Okay, like that. And this is what I would call an implicit conversion because no explicit short cast is specified. Okay, so we'll say implicitly. Okay, there you go. Right, and that is it. So now if you give this a build, this will work perfectly well this time because that line has been commented out. And there you go. So remember, two common types of conversions: implicit conversions, those are safe, usually if you have a smaller one going into a bigger one. But obviously if you have a bigger one going into a smaller one, that could cause a severe problem. Imagine you have a financial application and you make that mistake and money disappears, then big trouble for everybody. Okay, and that's it. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in another video.